So today, we're going to talk about Chapter 5, Paired Readings in the Pop Culture, or Reading Pop Culture. And then we already covered Chapter 4 in my last video, so if you didn't catch that, go watch that one again. So we're going to jump right in to Chapter 5, Paired Readings. And so I actually read these backwards because I didn't see the first one. But so the first one is Story or Spectacle, Why TV is Better Than Movies by Carpentier. And it talks about how TV is threatening movies. And this is because characters are everything. And in movies, it's really hard to portray the story, the characters, and get the connection between the characters and the audience without leaving it out, because it's only 2 hours, so it's really hard to get all of those in, and most of the time the connection between the characters and the audience are what get booted when push comes to shove. And so it's all about characters, and with a television show, you have a good 12 hours to tell a story, to get to know the characters, and to allow for depth. And most movies are plot-based, so it doesn't really matter who the hero is. It just matters that it gets to where the hero rises, but then he falls, but then he rises again, and woohoo, the movie's over. But in a series, characters get to tell their own story, and there's plot twists, and there's cliffhangers, and there's all sorts of different things that change per episode, which is like just a mini movie and a big movie. And it's awesome. But so in movies, the heroes are simple and they always prevail, and it's such a short amount of time that you don't get to know what the characters do on their day off. You just see them fighting crime, and then they save the world, and then the credits roll. But another thing that's in television and series is that there's good and bad characters. So in that, I mean, it's the same character. So you might think they're good, or they actually are good, and then something happens, and you watch that, and you see them turn into a bad character, and you see them flip-flop. So you get closer to the characters, and that is one reason why TV is threatening movies, because they have a longer period of time to tell their story and get the connections in there than movies. And movies, well, they have to keep it around 2 hours, even though Marvel just had a 2-part movie series. I don't know. Marvel's doing something different. Marvel is having separate movies, and then they're mashing them together, and then the first Infinity War was like 4 hours, and then the second one was like 5. So that's like 9 hours, which, I mean, maybe TV won't completely threaten movies, but as of right now, with most movies, there's more character development, there's more than just hero rises, falls, rises again. Spoiler alert, Marvel, the Infinity War Part 1, the heroes don't actually win, and people were pissed, because that's not how movies go. Hero has to rise, fall, and rise again. And that's all that people know. So people were very upset with that. And that kind of leads into our next article, which is Stay Unlikable for the Good of TV. And this is by Flanagan. And so they primarily talk about the Mindy Project, who, I don't know if you watch The Office, but Kelly was super annoying, and she was actually one of the writers as well, but she was super annoying, and she was super selfish and gossipy, and that is the same character that plays Mindy, and not as annoying as Kelly in The Office, but the Mindy Project, so it's a it's very realistic because this girl is selfish, gossipy, is only really religious or environmentally aware when it's convenient to her. And she's kind of dishonest. She'll lie about having kids to get into trendy clubs and different things like that. So it's a new type of woman on this TV screen, and it's breaking boundaries because women are not usually obnoxious on television unless you're making fun of them and they're not the main character that you follow and you're supposed to get to know and love. But so they say women can't be obnoxious on TV, and because of this, it took the character Mindy Lahiri a while for people to warm up to her, but now people like her. But there's also the social pressure to make her nicer, which Mindy Kaling, who's the actor and also one of the main producers of this, she's fallen into this where she wants to make Mindy a little bit more likable, which people are confused because the whole point of this is that she's obnoxious. But it's great because it's putting a spin on it, and it's showing that women don't fall into a certain category like good or bad. They can be good and bad and complicated, and it's definitely making a statement. And one thing that our author said was that it is leading to a new era of sitcom, the complicated woman. And with that, I'll leave you to think about it. I hope you liked my interpretation of those articles.